Hello, in the news this morning, we have the cycling news from the um, New from the New Zealand tour. The cricket news, we've got Super Smash action as well as the first test between Sri Lanka and England. News around the Chiefs coaching team in rugby and NBA action as well. This is the morning sports briefing, your best way to start the day up with all the important sports news. And it's Friday, the 15th of January, and I'll be your host this morning. Hi, I'm Paul. Let's kick off with the cycling, and it was a day for the break at the NZ Cycle Classic from Stage 2. It took 60 odd kilometres for the break to go away, but a decent sized break went away, and Luke Mugway put in a lot of work in that break, including bringing back some riders. Eventually, he made a break. He broke off from that team, the breakaway, and finished first with the 17 seconds ahead of the chasing group. Luke Mugway from Blackspoke Cycling Academy will wear the yellow jersey on stage 3. Corbin Strong from the New Zealand team finished second, with the Aaron Gates also from Black Cycling Academy finishing third on the same time there as well. So strong showings from the top two teams in the race, who came first and second in the team time trial on stage 1. So a good showing from those two, and they're the teams that are really going to need to step up their game, you'd think, against. We're going to find it tough against those two teams in the days ahead. Moving on to the cricket, and over in Sri Lanka, the first test match has got underway in Gale. Sri Lanka went into bat first and were bowled out for 135. Top score being the captain, Shandimal with just 28 runs. The bowler doing most damage was Don Bess, who took 5 wickets. Stuart Broad took 3. And Jack Leach chipped in with 1. And the final one was a run out to finish off the innings. In reply, England got off to a poor start, losing both their openers for just 17 runs, as Lashith Buldenia took both of those wickets. However, John Bairstow and Joe Root saw England through to the close. Johnny Bairstow on 47 not out, and Joe Root on 66 not out, to mean that England were 127 for 2 at the close, trailing by just 8 runs, with 8 wickets in hand. So a strong position there for England in the first test match between Sri Lanka and England. Over in the Super Smash, and we had 2 games yesterday. First up, the Otago Sparks took on the Wellington Blaze. And the Otago Sparks batted first, scoring 128 in their 20 overs, with Jensen at top scoring with 35 in that one. Both Kerr and Kasparek took 2 wickets each, and Kerr also only gave up 15 runs in her 4 overs. In reply, the Wellington Blaze chased down that total in 8.4 overs, with Sophie Devine and Green leading the way. Devine scored 108 off just 38 balls. Green with 20 runs in that run chase, and off 15 balls. Obviously, none of the bowlers took wickets, and they were all all of them gave up runs to Sophie Devine in that one. So a comfortable win for the Wellington Blaze in that one, meaning that On the table, the Blaze sit top of the women's comp with 4 wins and 1 loss, 2 points ahead of Auckland Hearts with 3 wins, a loss, and an abandoned game. The Northern Spirit just a couple of points back on 3 wins and 2 losses, with the Canterbury Magicians also tight up there with 2 wins, a loss, and an abandoned. They've got a game in hand, which could see them climb up to second, equal in that one. On the men's game between the Volts and the Firebirds, again, Otago went in to bat first, scoring 167 off their 20 overs, being led by Broom, who made 57, and Kitchen, who made 57, not out in that one. On the bowling side of things, and Van Beek went at just 6 and over off his 4 overs, but Neesham took a couple of wickets. In reply, the Firebirds got off to a good start. Allen at the top of the order scored 92 not out as he saw the batted through the innings. He was losing partners at a regular rate, but they were kept on chipping in. Bracewell got 26, for example, and they chased down the total of 16.3 overs to win the game by 5 wickets in that one. McLagan took a couple of wickets, as did Rippon as well, but to no avail as the Wellington Firebirds chased down the Volts total. That means on the men's side of things, the Firebirds are top with 5 wins from their 5 games. The Central Stags in second with 4 wins and 2 losses. And the Canterbury Kings with 3 wins, a loss. But obviously with a game in hand, or with games in hand, still to catch up there. Today sees 2 more games in the Super Smash. We'll have the Canterbury Kings taking on the Northern Knights. That kit starts at 3:20, and then the Canterbury Magicians taking on Northern Spirit starting at 7:10 in that one. So obviously stick around for the morning sports briefing tomorrow at 7 a.m. We're coming to you 7 days a week, and we'll bring you results from those 2 Super Smash games, as well as helping you start your day the best way, up to with all of the important sports news. A rugby item that I think we missed out on was that Clayton McMillan, who is the head coach for the Chiefs, whilst Warren Gatland is away with the Lions, has extended his contract with the Chiefs as an assistant coach for the next 3 years. So he will be, the next 2 years, sorry. So he's sticking around with the Chiefs, which is a fantastic result. Both himself and Gatland talked about how they'd been combining well in the handover. If the Lions were not to go ahead, then Clayton says there'll be no problems with Gatland coming back as an assistant coach for the season, which would be an interesting role for Gatland, having really been having not been assistant coach since the which Lions tour was it? It would have been the last South African Lions tour 12 years ago. Moving over to the NBA, and in the NBA, the Pelicans took on the Clippers and were down 111 to 106. The first quarter was tied 28 each, but it really was the second quarter where the Clippers did the damage, winning that one 33 to 15, and the Pelicans just could not claw their way back in this one. For the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard led with 28 points, and also Paul George with 27 points in that one. For the Pelicans, it was Brandon Ingram with 22 points who top scored, 20 points, but also Nickeil Alexander-Walker with 37 points there. But a couple of names missing from the Pelicans. Steve Adams got 12 points and 6 rebounds in that one. The Pelicans having a tough start to their season. That means that in the table on the Western Conference now, the Pelicans are in 13th place with 4 wins and 6 losses. The Lakers are top with 10 wins and 3 losses, followed by the Clippers, 2 games back on 8 wins and 4 losses. And then a chasing pack behind them. Over on the Eastern Conference, Celtics are top, followed by the Bucks, and the 76ers and the Pacers, all chasing from behind. It's a bit of a strange one in the NBA, obviously, because different numbers of games are played, and it's done by percentage of wins, not actual wins. You see that the Bucks and the 76ers have won 8 games to the Celtics 7, but the Celtics have played 2 games less, which means their percentage of wins is higher in that one. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news. Don't forget that the Prada Cup is kicking off this weekend. There's more A-League action, but the Phoenix are not in action this weekend. We'll be looking at getting our A-League and Phoenix-focused A-League show up and running next week. So look forward to that. Have a wonderful day, folks. The weekend is almost here. So catch you tomorrow at 7 a.m.